Tuesday, January 17th, 2023, 6:01 PM, a regular meeting of the Windsor Heights City Council. Roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Here.
Joseph Jones.
Here.
Michael Libby.
Here.
Lauren Campbell.
Here.
And Teresa Harms.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda.
Second.
Roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby.
Yes.
Lauren Campbell.
Yes.
And Teresa Harms.
3A, public hearing on ordinance number 2301, an ordinance amending chapter 12201 of the Code of Ordinances for the city of Windsor Heights related to the definition of panhandling.
Second.
Roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby.
Yes.
Lauren Campbell.
Yes.
And Teresa Harms.
Yes.
Some background on this issue, being that a fellow card carrying ACLU member contacted me and about our ordinance, specifically that the ACLU has taken an interest in panhandling ordinances, especially since I believe 2019, the city of Des Moines had theirs challenged. Review of ours, I believe that there may be some issues with it were it to ever be challenged, and I think Matt, you would agree with that sentiment. Yes. So this proposed ordinance before you was taken before the Public Safety Committee, and we believe that making this deletion of language will hopefully should alleviate any concerns there may be about the constitutionality of the ordinance. That is why that is before this council today. Any discussion on that? Any public comment on this ordinance? Okay. Motion approved. Second. Roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby.
Yes.
Lauren Campbell.
Yeah.
And Teresa Harms.
Yes.
3B, consideration of the first reading of ordinance number 2301.
Second.
Any discussion from council?
Thanks for taking the initiative. I think it might be worth noting that Chief McCluskey shared in our public safety meeting that the police have not been citing anyone for this. This is just updating our code to properly reflect our current practices, which have been in line with the guidelines set forth by the Supreme Court. So this won't change anything in the practice in our city.
Thank you for that. Hearing no further comments or discussion. Roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby.
Yes.
Lauren Campbell.
Yes.
And Teresa Harms.
Mr. Mayor, in consideration that there's no, I don't think we can push back on this either. Can we wait a second? For this? No.
Do you want to make a motion to,
No, second that.
We're gonna vote for the first one, right? And then we can- Okay, all right, well, 3C. Public hearing on ordinance number 2302, an ordinance amending chapter 5502 of the Code of Ordinances for the city of Windsor Heights related to types and numbers of animals permitted. Motion,
Second.
roll call.
Just 1 second. What were you asking to do?
To
Waive
the
the,
second and third
reading. yeah, so
I'm sorry, I thought you talked.
So I have-
Okay.
I'll ask that same thing too.
Well, I mean, we'll go with that.
But
he's gonna do a two-part.
okay, so opening the public hearing, who made the motion?
I did.
Okay, and the second?
I think maybe I did.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Susan Skiris,
Yes.
Joseph Jones,
Yes.
Michael Libby,
Yes.
Ron Campbell,
Yes.
and Teresa Harms.
This is obviously the chicken ordinance. This was brought to, I think, I first got an email about this in April of 2018. Some of you may have gotten that email back then. I believe it was a young lady, or no, it was a mother on Jefferson. It was taken to committee at that point, Public Safety Committee. I don't believe at the time, recommendation was that we take no action on it. 3.5 years later, I got another email from, I believe it was her daughter, asking us to take action on this. I was not the mayor at the time, and I believe nothing happened. And then September of 2022, I got an email. And so at that point, I asked for it to be taken from public safety. And we had a lengthy conversation about chickens. And so I think we kind of all agreed that 2 is not a realistic or reasonable number. And so I think we kind of settled upon 6. And that's what's being recommended here tonight.
That young lady also approached myself at the Movies in the Park and asked what the status was, because I guess we were supposed to get back to her and we never did. So I brought it to the attention of our city administrator and the mayor at the time, or Mayor Jones. And I think that's kind of what prompted this, was she wanted to check back in and see what was going on. I know that the previous city administrator said that he would invite her to come and talk. I kind of failed myself by contacting Rochelle to see if that was something that we could do tonight. But I know that she talked to me, and then I added Lauren in on the conversation at the Movie in the Park. I think we spent 10-15 minutes talking to her about it, and she explained her thoughts on why, and she was able to articulate why we should have more than just 2 chickens.
This is the public hearing. Is there any public comment on this proposal?
Yes.
Come on up.
It is.
State your name and your address and any comments you have, please.
Okay, hello, my name is Adelaide Timms and I've been a resident of Windsor Heights for almost 10 years. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here to support increasing the number of backyard poultry allowed in Windsor Heights. When I heard that you were thinking of increasing the number to 6, which I do wholeheartedly support, but I want to ask you to consider increasing the number to 10. And I want to show you how birds can be a blessing to Windsor Heights. Firstly, factory farming is disgusting, and the quality of life of birds while they live in small cages, many not every single day today. The quality of eggs is better when they have access to sun, grass, and bugs. You can see if the egg is nutritious just by looking at it. The darker the yolk, the better the egg. Many eggs you buy from the store are pale yellow and lacking essential nutrients, such as omega-3s. Backyard chickens offer an opportunity to produce a better egg in a more safe, controlled environment. And secondly, egg prices have risen dramatically and will most likely continue to rise with inflation. Egg prices, especially free-range eggs, the most nutritious you can come by, can be really expensive. Thirdly, chickens and other fowl not only provide eggs, but also provide fertilizer high in potassium and phosphorus for gardeners and their natural recyclers and scraps. I know that my family wastes a lot of food. I have 4 younger siblings, and 2 in particular are very picky, and they don't really finish a lot of their food. Almost half wasted on their plates, which chickens will gladly take care of. Have you ever had like a bag of green zucchini too far that has gone too far in your fridge? Chickens will eat that for you, and watermelon rinds and peas they will also gladly take care of. Birds are recyclers. So why did I come up with 10 in particular? I have 7 people in my family, and we probably consume about 8 to 10 eggs a day, and that's more than 60 eggs a week. That's a lot. 2 birds won't lay half that, and some people are under the common misconception that a chicken will lay an egg every day. A chicken will probably lay only around 3 to 5 eggs per week, and sometimes more depending on the breed. And that is why I find 10 chickens particularly necessary. Birds can be a blessing. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
We shared it with us. Oh, it was like, it's on the internet. But like,
Yes.
can she tell someone in confidence that something was out?
You can tell me and I'll just put it in the minutes.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Come on out. Come on.
Do this, let's move this down here first. All right. Good.
Hello, City Council. My name is Eleanor Murphy and I live at 6425 Forest Court. And I am here to support increasing the number of chickens allowed. I have been taking care of chickens for 15 months. I really enjoy taking care. There are some things that I like to do. Number 4, watching for eggs and number 5, sharing my love for chickens with my friends. Increasing the number of chickens allowed in winter house is a good idea because number 1, the chickens will be happy to have more friends and a problem. Number 2, putting in a only room produce 2 chickens isn't good. 6 chickens makes way more sense. Number 3, 2 chickens don't lay enough eggs to feed my family. Number 4, I have a dream to sell eggs to my neighbors and I need more than 2 chickens to do that. Going about their neighbors. These are the council considering increasing the number of chickens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
I just want to say I'm very impressed by the two of you coming out here and speaking and presenting your opinions and providing us with a lot of factual material. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come out here and also do the research.
Motion to close public hearing.
Second,
Roll call.
Susan Skiris,
yes.
Joseph Jones, yes. Michael Libby,
Yes.
Lauren Campbell,
Yes.
and Teresa Harms.
3D, consideration of the first reading of ordinance number 2302. The aforementioned types and numbers of animals permitted ordinance.
Second,
Any further discussion based upon our public hearing? Obviously, we had a public safety committee meeting on this topic, and I will just say, I think it was potentially you, Lauren, who was asking for more than we came up with, but I think it was sort of a consensus that we settle on this number. So I would like to know if the council is comfortable moving forward as it is written, or if they would like to consider something else.
Do we know what the other surrounding communities have?
So, one across the street is 30. Across your street is 30. And then West Des Moines, Urbandale.
Somebody else gonna introduce two, and I'm not sure if they've got
Who?
Urbandale.
Oh, Urbandale, okay.
The Des Moines allows a great number, but they have to be 25 feet from, I believe, any residents.
From any neighbor residents, yes.
Okay. So
But we don't have that language. Do we have a minimum? We don't have a distance requirement, correct?
We do not, I don't believe so.
Well, I grew up,
Yeah. I think it's 25.
I have to remind myself.
I don't think it's in this for us.
yeah, it's not in the proposed amendment, but it is. I didn't think it was. We can look.
I had suggested at that meeting, number greater than 6, but because there's only limited times a year that you can purchase chicks. And so I had 2, and when the Circle of Life reduce it to one. It's really hard to get one chicken. Stores won't sell you one chicken. And so then I had to adopt a number larger than one, and then I had to leave home so that I was in compliance with code. So there's a chick season where you can get chickens, and then otherwise you kind of have to wait till next spring. So somebody who starts with 10 in the spring might only have 4 or 5 by the time the winter comes around. So
And I missed that particular meeting, and I would have been in support of Lauren's conversation about increasing the number since. But of course, since we are the two chicken owners in the council, we can't do something that will benefit us first. But I'm open to the discussion.
The language is, and I don't know if it's specific, if it's the chickens themselves, but the enclosure has to be, that's the language, the enclosure, so the pen, coop or hutch has to be 25 feet from a neighboring residential. That is.
So I grew up on a farm, chickens. I had to go into the chicken coop and collect eggs. I'm glad that you enjoyed doing it. I did not. And my grandma used to go and sell her eggs at the market, and that was a pretty cool thing. And then one of my best friends owned a hatchery, and so very different back when your parents were. Even I might be older, so we'll see. But that's pretty cool. So I have neighbors that have chickens. They're not drama, and I'm open to 6 or 10, or if I'm open to expanding that number. There's interest amongst others around.
Matt, the number has changed. Do we have to do that?
I was talking with Joseph. What you could do is you could amend this ordinance to change the number, but then I'd recommend not waiving the second, third, because then someone would have another chance or 2 more chances to come.
Okay.
Or if you wanted, you could send it back and then do all 3 readings the first.
So we pass it at 6. One more different later.
Pass it at
Pass
10.
it at 10 and then do the second, third.
Well, it's
At one.
listed at
We
6
amend
right now, but yeah, you could pass it at 10 and do it all at once in February, or go forward at 6 right now and do all 3 readings. Those would be the 2 cleanest ways, but you could also,
I don't.
amend it tonight to 10 and then do second, third reading 1st of February.
Chicken business is serious. I'm not joking. We got 5 to 10. We got 5. I got more than 5, but less than 10 emails unanimously in support of amending this ordinance. I have never gotten all unanimous things, more than 5 on the company. So.
I agree. Never unanimous, but I've gotten more.
Yeah, we got
The board had a few more comments.
I do have some chicken puns that I'll wait until later because I'd like the number to go from 6 to 10. So I'm going to save my political capital for where it really counts.
All right, well, this number was placed on here by the recommendation of Public Safety Committee. Public Safety Committee makes policy recommendations, obviously the local council to determine the ultimate number that feels appropriate. So if you are, it seems like you have a consensus for 10, then we can probably have to
I will
go
amend
backwards.
my motion.
Okay.
I will amend my motion to I have to take these off so I can read. To have 10 chickens, and not to exceed 10 in number.
I think I was the second, so,
Yeah, you were.
and I would have been fine with 6, but we had 2 people here that kind of were able to provide factual information, so I will agree to the 10.
Nice job, advocates.
Roll call.
Susan Skiris,
Yes.
Joseph Jones,
Yes.
Michael Libby,
Yes.
Lauren Campbell,
Yes.
and Teresa Harms.
Yes.
There will be a second and a third reading, obviously, so numbers could change, but that will be at our next council. So, thank you for coming. Going back to 3B, that being consideration of first reading of ordinance number 2301 related to panhandling, I believe. There was a potential motion to waive the second and third.
Yes.
Joseph, you are making that motion.
I do not motion, yes.
I'll second.
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby.
Yes.
Lauren Campbell.
Yes.
And Teresa Harms.
Yes.
Item 4, public forum. This is the time set aside for comments from the public on topics of city business other than those listed on the agenda. No action will be taken. Please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and keep your comments to no more than 5 minutes. Members of the public wish to speak? We lost most of them. All right. Item 5, consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby.
Yes.
Lauren Campbell.
Yes.
And Teresa Harms.
Yes.
6, new business, 6A, consideration of resolution number 2023-9. That is a very long resolution, so I will just summarize that being a application for a SEDG from the Des Moines Greater Metropolitan Organization. Justin?
Justin Ernst Boldmink. So this is the application for the SCBG funds for becoming MPO. We've done this for university and 73rd phase 1. This is for 73rd phase 2. I've listed, this was an online submission, so I tried my best at typing out everything and giving answers to the stuff. So I don't know if anybody has any questions on any of those items. I don't remember, there's hundreds of questions, I believe, on there. Sounds a little short. But this is for fiscal year 2027, I believe, and this will not be the last time this gets submitted. So we'll go on for at least 3 years. What we can get out of the deal. So not sure what else to bring up. So there's a presentation. Was it? Yes. So this was the last piece of the puzzle, was getting the resolution passed to send that to the MPO to make the application complete.
Second.
Justin, real quick, what is the is it 7 million? Is that the ask?
Yes.
How much do we need?
A lot.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. So 7 million this, and then as we were going for that, the raise grant, which is up to 20 million. So that couples in everything. That 7 million is the ask. I guarantee we get on that, but felt like that was enough, nice medium number to go in that, not asking for a lot, too much, and not asking for too little.
Any further discussion, questions, council? Hearing none? Roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby.
Yes.
Lauren Campbell.
Yes.
And Teresa Harms.
Yes.
Thank you, Justin. 6B, consideration of audio-visual equipment replacements for the community events center.
As you know, we've been kind of plagued by different problems. First, it was microphones, mainly because there was a FTC change, and so we can't transmit over that frequency anymore. So when we had microphone issues, our audiovisual vendor said it's basically illegal to use the microphones as they were. So I guess when we were changing out other radios in the city, we should have thought about that too. But so anyway, that led to kind of a workaround right now. So we're borrowing equipment from the audiovisual vendor and renting that. And then our amp went out, which is part of the sound system. So I think in the memo, I didn't actually print out the entire packet. In the memo, I contacted roughly 6 to 8 different vendors in the area, and they all have had really a lot of trouble tracking down the equipment because of supply chain and things like that going on. So we ended up getting 2 good ones, but very different scopes. And I discussed the scope of both of them clearly. And basically what we're looking for is 2 microphones, but handheld, 2 microphones, lapel pin type ones, a new amplifier, a DVD player, and basically just to kind of restructure that with a new control panel in the front to hook up that would have updated technology like Bluetooth, and then a new control pad on the sides. So just basically bare minimum, because it's a little overbuilt, to say the least, for what we use it for. So I'm recommending Neurotech Industries. Have been good to work with.
Quick question for you, Travis. I noticed that all of the bids had some training elements in there. In the past, there's been sometimes some resistance of getting previous city administrator where some have resisted making sure that enough people were trained. If we could make sure that we schedule that training and like all the department heads, like whoever's available, because it sometimes seems like the time that
Maybe
something
the
goes
special
wrong-
events committee people.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Susan and I attending too. It might be helpful, but it seems like when something breaks, it's like the one person who
Yeah.
got the official training isn't available. And so I just want to make sure that we're not.
And one thing I did discuss with both vendors, it's just simplify it's a simplified control panel and things like that. So, but yeah, definitely training will get everyone trained.
Then I guess my question was, I know that we, at some point in time, lost one of the mics in there because we went down to like 1 mic.
Yeah.
Or 2. How are we going to make sure that we maintain inventory control?
I think it's going to be part of the, what I plan on doing is having it as part of the cleaning contract, to make sure that they count those items, and if they're missing, to contact us right away, so we can track down the previous renter. And also we don't have the cleaning crew come in for everything. So then when we do our own spot checks through Public Works, I'll have them make sure that they do an inventory as well to make sure we have all those items there.
There's not really like a place where they go, right?
Not really. They
So
kind of
You kind of like, I don't know, build a box or something.
something.
that These things go here, so they're always accounted for.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, could they go in the CEC room over there, that office, lock them up somehow?
It would just be difficult because if someone's using it for a wedding, then we would have to give them access to that room too. But we'll figure something out. I'll talk to you.
So the recommendation is for Neurotech Industries Iowa. Someone willing to make a motion on it.
So, second.
Any further discussion or questions about that recommendation?
So did the second group, did they just really like want to get us for all our money, or?
Well, they
I
would like
mean,
talk
like,
about replacing speakers and everything, and I never discussed that with them.
I was
so
looking at that going, man,
Done that for 5 years, I think, maybe.
I'm not sure. I've almost been here 5.
And how soon did Neurotech have an estimate of how soon?
I think everything they have is in stock, so they should be able to go.
That
That was part of the contingent was also, and that's maybe why we didn't get quite so many bids, because I made it contingent, but we want this done by early, March at the latest, so.
Is I'm assuming that some of this equipment and stuff that people that are running the CDC are like counting on.
Yeah, exactly. And right now it's January, so there's not a lot going on, but once weddings, we're already booked up for June for weddings. Once that's going, we need to make sure we have all that stuff for people.
Hearing no further questions or comments.
Susan Skiris.
yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby. Oh, we lost her. No, he's still there.
Michael?
He's muted. Lauren Campbell
Yes.
and Teresa Harms.
Yes.
Item 6C, consideration of police union contract. Motion.
Second,
Matt, are you speaking to this or?
I'm speaking to this and Chad actually is available by phone. He just texted me if you guys have any questions. But just to give you an overview, this was, there were a lot of requests that the union asked for this time. We had a total of 20 proposals on the table. We try to always mirror. If they have 10, we have 10. They ultimately dropped half of their proposals. And of the remaining proposals, they only had 3 that ended up having a cost to them. Obviously, the biggest one is wages. But the other 2, I just want to point them out so you know what they are. There was an increase to the educational incentive that had not been adjusted in a long time. And it's $400, $800, $1,200. So it's not something that happens a lot, but it's important, Chad, that we continue to encourage the employees to get associates or bachelor's or advanced degrees. And then we were, of the 9 comparables, there's 10 cities total we historically looked at, us and 9 others. We were the lowest on the shift differential, which is the bonus you pay to work the graph schedule. And so we went to.
Is that a legal term?
It is a legal term. So the shift differential went to 20 or 50 cents an hour, which is, it's not the most, it's just about the average of what everyone else is getting. And the wages, the percentage, it's always important, the percentage, but to let you know, it's a 3-year contract, 7%, 6%, 6%. And what that does is it puts us at year 1, 4 out of 9 cities, and then drop down to 5 out of 9 cities for years 2 and years 3. So the point was that we're not in the bottom third. We made it clear that you guys, we're not going to be paying a premium to be at the top for officer pay just because you guys, that's not, I'm assuming something you want to go raise taxes to be the #1 paying public safety city in the state of Iowa. So although these are large jumps, these are significantly less. I have a mediation tomorrow where the numbers are smaller, but compressing the years to get to the top step, which is a lot more expensive. We didn't adjust the steps on this at all. This is consistent with what a number of other cities have been doing this year, but it is a lot. And the thought would be after this 3-year contract, hopefully it will go back to the 3% that you historically used.
Can you explain the significant jump?
Yes, so Ankeny and West Des Moines have led the way in the last 12 months by Ankeny reopened their contract and West Des Moines had a new contract. And I'm not gonna put it all on them because the year before, Des Moines really needed officers, so they started out with some significant incentives. And then in response to Ankeny and West Des Moines, Iowa State University now has a $10,000 bonus for laterals and new officers. So there aren't as many people applying to be police anymore. And so the pool is rapidly closing. And the plan is you need to be at least in the midpoint to be competitive. You're likely not going to lose employees if you're not the highest city, but those cities that are in the bottom of their comp groups typically are having a hard time filling spots and keeping employees. So we're responding to what a number of other cities have done, and they have. Thankfully, in Western Iowa, it's worse, but in Central Iowa, we're seeing a lot of 6s, 7s, or 8s if you take into account when they are compressing the scale. Ames, for example, is negotiating right now, and they're compressing their scale to go from 21 years to max out to 12 years. So even at a 1% across the board increase for them, they'd end up actually getting more than our guys do because it doesn't take very long to get to the top anymore. And also inflation, but frankly, Ankeny and West Des Moines started doing this before the inflation. So I don't think you can
Depending on inflation.
on inflation.
But
You
you
can
still
pin it
hit
on
on
Ankeny
this.
and West Des Moines.
Yeah.
And Des Moines, yes.
All right. Further discussion or questions from council?
I think it's important to keep. We have a workforce that's been here for a while, recognize the value that they bring to us. We're not alone in this space, so I think it's really important. It's nobody likes to see these numbers, but I think, according to Matt, so I'll pin it on him. It's realistic. It's just the world in which we are in at this very moment in time.
Other questions? Comment? Hearing none, roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby.
Yes, and Travis, on the previous motion, I wanted to make sure my call dropped and I was a yay on that as well.
All right, I will put you down. Lauren Campbell
Yes.
and Teresa Harms.
Make sure you go out and get your pops of freeze though.
6D, discussion of council goals and objectives. Michelle, is that you?
That's me.
All right.
Just, as part of the budgeting process, we've started reviewing the goals every year. It started last year, I think. This was our first year to review. And what I did was I just highlighted some things in here that I thought we actually had accomplished. And the question for you all is, do you want those things taken off of the goals? And is there some things that you would like to have added to the goals? There's a lot of things that are continuous goals, I believe, things like recruit and train quality staff. Obviously, you don't want to take that off of there. We need to continually retain quality staff. So those kinds of ongoing goals. But like the sewer system operation and maintenance, that actually did transfer. We did do that. So good job. So is that something that you guys would like me to take off? Or
Well,
do you,
how about this? We could just sort of breeze through each goal.
perfect.
I don't want to go objective by objective unless someone feels that's necessary, but you're right, a lot of these are continuing. I would note in objective B under goal 1, I think we could probably add language related to the 24/7 resolution, speaking about implementing it. Anyone else's thoughts on additions to goal 1?
I would like to add in, like maintaining, and I don't know how you wanted to word it nicely, but maintaining adequate staffing in the public safety departments. And then specifically for the fire department, bring us back to 24/7 paramedic service versus the EMT service that we have, that when we have a paramedic, we run as a paramedic license, but if we don't have a paramedic, we just are running an EMT ambulance. So,
And you want that under goal number 1?
well, I'm not really picky and choosy, but I figured that was, since it talked about focus city services, but
It could be, is the proposed that language specifically? Like, or are you just talking about recruiting and training and retaining quality staff, or you want to add talking about additional specific language related to public safety?
well, I think we have to have adequate staffing, and I'm not too sure that we're always able to adequately staff.
I understand what you're saying.
So, I mean,
So maybe you do on that, do recruit. And sorry, I was gonna suggest that.
And I think, at this point, if we are having staffing shortages, but we also don't have open positions for people to apply for, that's more than just a scheduling issue, and it's more than a staff. We also need to be properly hiring so that we do have enough folks for people to have time off, or to have the coverages Susan described.
I'm just wondering if you add an objective or you morph into beyond recruit and train quality staff, but have adequate staffing levels or something.
And then
Sure.
maybe you could put in the 24/7 paramedic service as an example, like we had
Yeah.
other examples.
Yeah.
i.e.
That works.
For objective C, there replace aging vehicles and equipment, tying back to the 24/7 resolution. Do we add something to it, examining fuel efficient options as available?
Seek to, I guess, transition to green fleet or, as practical. Because
Exactly, yeah. You know, I'm sure we could get a tractor for public works that's all electric, and I'm sure that comes at its premium right now, but, you know, where we could buy a hybrid where we can.
Yep,
So seek to transition to fuel efficient vehicles as practical.
I like that. Thank you.
any more under goal 1? Goal 2. A lot of these are ongoing, obviously. Objective B, I think we're still waiting to hear back from BMI about the proposed zoning code rewrite.
Do we know where we're at with that? Are we?
Actually, I just spoke to BMI today and they're gonna present the several of the first sections at next Wednesday's P and Z commission meeting. And I'll have those on Friday.
Thank you.
I know.
Objective C needs improvement, but sounds like maybe improvement has been starting to be made in that objective.
And Adam, tell them what you just got. Code enforcement, what did you
There's
just get
Wait, what's the
for your
objective?
vehicle? Well, it's about code enforcement.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what the objective was.
It's
I
about
was
code
like, wait. I got car magnets with the city logo to put on my car, so that way when I'm out doing code enforcement, it's not some random silver car just driving around taking pictures of houses.
Choose your car.
I did a few and it felt awkward. But so now it's a little bit more official and they'll know someone from the city is driving around and looking at things.
And he does drive a hybrid, which dovetails in.
It was true, yeah.
Nationalize your car.
Well, I am just buying out my lease, so.
But what also, can you let them know what else we're working on with the?
With code, yeah, so right now, through Civic Plus, looking at using its request tracker is what it's called through Civic Plus. If you put something in, like fill out one of those forms through the website, it goes through request tracker. So focusing on just getting that up and running, I think it wasn't used to its fullest capabilities previously, so really using it to its fullest ability. And then did notice on Civic Plus that they do have a new program, ClickCFix, something along those lines, where it's a more robust request tracker. So definitely on the back ends, where right now the reporting that request tracker has is really janky reporting. It's definitely not the most optimal. It gets basic numbers, but this new program will have more robust reporting. Like for example, if I go in there and try to export any request forms that were submitted for weeds being overgrown, I get a .text form. I don't have an option to even export it in Excel or anything, so makes it really hard to pull data and do anything with that data. So I've already had like an initial meeting with Civic Plus just to go over that program, and they were like, well, it comes out in it's not Excel form, but it's the CSV. I'm like, that is perfect. I can work with that. So it's just definitely a more robust program. There's going to be more interface. They do have an app so someone could download it to their phone and more easily get to that form to submit if they are out and about and see a code violation or something or a pothole. They could go on there, submit that, and just be an app. would be an option, and they have option for tailored, so that's down the road, still more talking with them, but just kind of really in those beginning stages of talking to them, learning more about what this other option would be to just really kind of grow the code enforcement and just get it to a more better place where residents are seeing those code enforcements take place.
Just sending letters, right?
Right now, yeah, Who knows?
It's really just sending letters.
I could
I mean, it's like.
flip the
going out
crack.
there, Yes, I hear
Yeah.
you there, but like, it seems that so much is made out of really just sending polite letters to people and like, you
Mhm.
have to escalate, but so many problems are solved just by sending a nice letter. to somebody.
Exactly. And really looking at that process since I've taken it over is kind of where I've only had to handle a couple cases so far. And right now, the first letter is, I think Rochelle would agree, a pretty nice letter, just pretty nice. It's asking them work with us to keep Windsor Heights beautiful, and put there the code section that they're violated. So there's a little section in there that says, we know you may not be aware of a code violation, but so please work with us. Give it about 2 weeks. I'll go out, re-inspect, and if nothing's been done, I haven't been contacted. My contact information is in the letter for them to contact me. To if there's any extenuating circumstances, they can contact me. We can talk through it. After about 2 weeks, go out, recheck it, and then if nothing's been done, then kind of escalate the letters a little bit more. Hey, this is something that is in the city code, and here's another reinspection date, and here's possible consequences. So far, I have not gotten to that third step, but we'll see.
That's when Matt
what you got
steps in.
Yeah.
I'll send it.
I like that we'll be able to report and track it. Because
Mhm.
I should say, occasionally like hear a complaint, it's like, I've complained about this 19 times, it's like, well, here's the two actual times you complained about it, and then here's the follow-up that we did to be able to represent that. So
Exactly.
thank
So it's going to be a lot nicer, a lot easier for staff to go into it, pull up a property, and I'm attaching the letters to that case. So that case will have the letters right to it. So you don't have to, so no one would have to go through the shared drive to find files.
Piles of papers. Stacks of-
I'm blocking that from my memory right now.
Yes.
Yes. So it's going to be a lot more digital right there. Notes are going to be in that case. So someone could pull up a case, and any notes from me being like, here's when I went out, or if a resident would contact me, any notes from that conversation would be in that case too. So it's all in one spot, a lot more manageable.
So previously, we would receive like on a monthly basis, when we had a person who
Mhm.
was just code enforcement, a report of sorts that said, here were the violations, this is what they were, if they've been resolved or not. Is that
Mhm.
something that we could?
Yeah, that's definitely.
Kind of helps us,
Mhm.
know, because people do ask and.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely something that I hope to kind of bring back to you guys and just have better numbers. So if there is something, I can bring something up or start a monthly thing. Just my corporate background, that's like something that I really enjoy. So just to show like it kind of shows where maybe in like the newsletter or social media, if there's more complaints coming around a certain topic like weeds or something, then I know, oh, there's a lot of code complaints coming in about that. So that's a messaging that we need to push out. Or if it's abandoned vehicles parking on grass. So it kind of helps also with me just what communication needs to get out. So without that reporting, so it's very important reporting, knowing those numbers.
And even like, this is how many we got, this is how many will resolve.
Mhm.
Kind of a summary too, just go, that it's.
Exactly.
It's piles of paper, nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So easily be able to see what cases are closed, what's still in progress.
Okay, well, thank you for all of that. Very soothing to hear. Let me tell you. Any other suggestions under goal 2? Goal 3, financial future goal. Objective A and B. I think more so than updating, it's more following through with where we're at. I think that's a big thing, is how many outstanding, we have 7 outstanding projects that need to be done. That, in this fiscal year, we're still in the fiscal year, right?
Yeah.
But.
Oh, that's
So,
Yeah, we still have plenty of time.
I get nervous when on the back end of things, so.
No, this is actually, I mean, construction season starts in spring, and then we start the project, and they open the project, and we fund the project, and it's all good.
All,
Well,
football, and I understand. Any additions or corrections or subtractions to goal 3? Goal 4, high functioning team. I completed, Rochelle, I don't know if you have access to it. I completed the council. It's not a handbook, it's a binder.
I do know about the binder.
Okay. But I know that, I think Travis, you had mentioned that the employee handbook needs some TLC after, how long has it been, maybe?
No, actually, Matt and Aaron actually reviewed the latest version, which we got from Key Elements. So we did pay for that. Matt and Aaron looked it over. I have it queued up to go back to them, relook at it in case there's anything else, and then to bring it to you guys. So there's a lot of things that weren't in our handbook that needed to be, like just laws that had been passed and that
Just minor.
just minor things, yes, big things, and even page numbers will be on the new employee handbook. So my assumption was just to get it to them, let them look it over again, bring it back to you guys, and then we can hopefully get that passed. The updates were done, were just literally things that needed to be added, that were, nothing in it has changed except adding the new laws, so.
Anything else for goal 4? And the implementation of the all electronic job application process that has been carried out.
It is.
Okay.
We do still get a few that come in. We actually had a couple that just bring their resume in, but that's fine.
Okay. 5, unique and sustainably vibrant community. Implementation of the parks plan, getting a vision for Colby Park. So we're processing ongoing.
Yeah, I didn't know if you want me to reword it or, because we did begin implementation.
Okay.
Just say continue implementation instead of begin.
Objective B. The revised community concert series. Are we looking at a partnership with the foundation and the chamber on that one, or?
I think
I think that was obviously related to music in the park, but I'm not sure. I'm sorry, yeah, nice and nice, but it's sort of a weird, it's
Yeah, it's,
oddly written.
Does it want me to change it, take it out? I think everything seems fine, or I think things are going.
yeah, I mean, I don't,
I think that through the special events committee, Mark from the partnership or from the foundation is involved, and we're helping promote them. They're helping promote our events. So I think that feels like an accomplishment.
I think maybe it could be modified, something to the effect of, continue to invest at the city level in community events, but also can seek out, continue to foster relationships with local organizations to further those events or
mhm.
something nice like
Okay.
that. Anything further on 5? And goal 6, the comprehensive economic development strategy. The committee has indeed been evolved to include businesses and citizens.
Do you want me to take it off or leave it on?
Oh, yeah, we've accomplished. And then I don't know, objective B. I don't know if the survey, the business survey that was done sort of addressed that. They will have to have them actually turn over.
Oh, right, and see what sort of information did they get from that
Yeah.
survey.
Well, that was, we reviewed that, and people said that they wanted to see restaurants. And I will tell you that from the previous survey and that one, it's like, it's almost identical. I mean, it's the same stuff.
Do you want me to remove that letter B then?
Yeah, I would say, because I want to know specific, but I'm thinking it's going to be yes.
So I'm wondering if it is yes to remove, then how do we take it to the next step of how do we foster, how do we engage, recruit, whatever, to get this to the sector here? If we make that a goal. Or is that just included in C, which is comprehensive marketing?
Which makes sense.
Two different things.
Yeah, I think maybe C could be expanded though, to specifically address some of the concerns that were raised in the survey. I think that would probably be a good way to do it.
Bridge the gap.
Yes. Does that make sense, Rochelle?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
The E. We have there are a lot of programs and opportunities available to residents through a number of different organizations, property rehabilitation, depending on income. But also just, we have property tax abatement. And I just don't think people know about it because we say, starting with the website, that's something that Adam and I have talked about, putting all this in one place so that. But I think that those things are there. It's just that people don't take advantage of them because they don't know about them. Metro West Housing. I think we got a letter. We got an invoice that nobody was on the waiting list for it.
We specifically, I thought there were still 2 on the waiting list.
Okay. I'll look again, but it's
I
very
could be
low.
wrong. It is very low, but we did have quite a few the last time, the last go round. But there is funding for that, so it's in our budget, so.
Yeah, I think we need to do a better job of making residents aware that we have.
So do we need to more speed into establishing, or to make that more about communicating or marketing or whatever, promoting those as opposed to,
Do we want to do it under 9? That's it. Or whatever.
that's fine. Clearly something we all knows in the newsletter.
Yeah. Need to work on that next week, so
Social.
getting content.
Come back to that. Housing. Okay, any other under goal 6? All right, goal 7, invest in city infrastructure. Now partially going back to the CIP one. The lighting enhancements, I did go out to Hickman Road at 8 o'clock at night, just totally ran. And those lights are working under the bridge there. Yes, pick that up.
And a side note, thanks for working on getting the Colby Park lights back up and running.
Oh, no.
Yep, they're all
Those
fine.
guys are good. Is there anywhere else that we need lighting along the trail? Is it all good?
It's as good as can be.
Perfect. Take that one.
It looks like flood mitigate. Yeah, I would say this is a pretty comprehensive goal, kind of addresses a lot. Objective F, I think we kind of foreshadow the 24/7 resolution, identifying and pursuing green technologies. Any comments on that? Goal 8, diverse and inclusive community. I think an opportunity maybe under B. What's the name of the president?
Kathy Morris with Racy.
Okay. I think there might be an opportunity to see if there's some more work that we could do in that area, in special events, not to make more work for you two.
We did talk about adding in some of these different cultural events during our movies in the park, but we were so busy trying to, it was just a lot thrown at us last year. So this year we're starting off strong.
Definite opportunity there for that.
One suggestion, and would be, even talking to the current different events and festivals that go on, whether or not they would consider Hopi Park as their location of choice. And or we do have, if you look at our variety of whether it's markets or food, our restaurants, food establishments, we have. I've had people mention to me in the past, you guys did a common experience, kind of diversity.
A taste of Windsor Heights.
So I love
There
it.
we go. We got another
Build it into an existing something.
Well, maybe it could be,
Lot
yeah,
of opportunity is for that.
build it into the fall fest.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, goal 9. Communication with Windsor Heights residents. I would say we pretty much smashed objective A out of the park.
Do you want it to stay on there so it's ongoing? Leave it alone?
I think the goal was really to establish the newsletter and to determine.
Could we just say to continue our great communication? So that.
Our goals is patting ourselves on the back.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should look for opportunities
To better communicate.
Yeah.
That's good.
To continue the newsletter.
Yeah.
And pat ourselves on the back for as far as we've gone.
I know,
Conduct a survey of residents, obviously done that. And do you have the results of the survey?
Like the PDF, like the PowerPoint,
Yeah.
because you sent me that. Yes.
I think they were going to provide Dennis with the PowerPoint spreadsheet.
So we don't have it.
Well, I did not know that. I'm so sorry.
You don't need to apologize, but if it could be forwarded to us, I think we would really appreciate it.
Of course.
Do we
I
have a
will do that.
spreadsheet?
I don't think we have the actual data. though.
Yeah, no, I know that, but I know that I'm pretty sure she at least forwarded the PowerPoint. Yeah, we do not.
Okay, I can.
Thank you. And so then we can something like we need to better advertise or inform the residents about the benefits that we can offer them as Windsor Heights residents, being it in the realm of housing or the stormwater management, that act, that program, or if we're going to seriously talk about the the sidewalk rehabilitation project, something we can do a better job of just making sure that you live here, here's everything we do for you.
Can we also put out something about the Des Moines Public Library? I read a few comments and a few people have emailed me that they can't use Libby at Urbandale, and I said, well, yeah, because we're not with Urbandale anymore, we're with Des Moines. You just have to set up a new, you know, and everything will just go through the Des Moines or the Des Moines Library, but I mean, that's been what, 2 years, hasn't it? That we've switched, so I don't know.
So it might be nice to have a page on the website. You're right. It has all these things that are benefits to you
And
as
it's
a resident.
confusing because everybody can use every library.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
only, you know, it's only specific digital stuff.
Do we have a contract with them?
Mhm.
But yes, definitely an opportunity to talk about that.
Look at that.
One more benefit.
Because then you can also get tickets to go to different various places through the Des Moines,
We have a science center
like
class,
and
right?
the zoo and like the arts center, I think. So things like that are nice things for families to do, maybe spring break time or, you know, summer that we can help promote.
Ask the library to find something.
Yeah,
Put it on their
I
shoulders.
was like, yeah, we have a point of contact. I can start reaching out to them.
Monthly, if you want to.
Well, they probably already have it like built out. They just pass it on.
Yeah. Yep.
So I can work on.
Might tell them we were going to do a reintroduction.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah, can work on building that relationship.
Because we want them to come to Colby Park and read again. Because that was a big event, or big events, I guess.
Okay, any further discussion on the goals? Jill, do you have everything you need?
I do. I'll bring it back to the next meeting and we can either approve it, amend it, approve it, change it, whatever you guys want.
Thank you. Reports, 7A, my report was attached to the agenda. I did not mention, because it did not happen yet, that the Des Moines NPO had a 4-hour meeting on Thursday, which I had to leave the last 10 minutes because I had to go to my real job, my day job. But the topic of conversation was the NPO is obviously a transportation. That's majority of what they do, but that is not only what they do. And there is a feeling by some municipalities that perhaps they have exceeded their missions or bounds. That, and when I say they, I mean us, because we are the NPO and we're voting members. As far as some financial awards that were given out to other agencies which were non-NPO members and which were not in the realm of transportation. And so there was a very long meeting about what the solution or whether or not there needs to be a solution. But I think sort of the consensus at the end of the day was that the mission statement and the goals of the NPO probably allow for this. And if indeed it is sought to be prevented, then the mission and goals need to change. And so that would be, and I think we actually have a policy meeting maybe Thursday or next week, which I'll be there. But so a quick turnaround as far as what actions are going to be taken after that. And attended Center Field 1-year anniversary. I stopped in time to have approximately 1 adult beverage. Everybody was counting. I went home and that was an excellent event. Sarms.
It's been a busy week and a half at the Iowa legislature, and I feel like that has consumed most of my time. However, I did manage to attend a budget and personnel meeting and the welcome back reception. And advisory. Legislative breakfast, so I was not able to. However, I am on the nominations committee for MAC and will likely serve on the executive committee for this next session. We'll work on that in February. And then just a couple of upcoming things, because we move again now till February 6th. And so Greater Des Moines, I just want, these are maybe more confirmations than anything, but Greater Des Moines Partnership dinner on the 26th. Everybody's nodding their head, we have tickets, correct? And
You have a tape.
okay, great. And then Bravo.
And we have a table there,
You have
right?
a tape.
Okay. Thank you.
We're not gonna crash those parties.
Well, making sure, I think they were on my calendar.
They already even.
They were
paid.
fine. And Adam, I assume we have a newsletter draft coming soon.
Yep. Yep, next week we'll be working on it, and then the week after will be the draft. Yeah.
Okay, get ready for a couple chicken puns in here too. I attended Dr. Joseph. Funding is a concern for DART as always. The hotel tax proposal would certainly make the future of DART bright and sunny, and it will also lower property taxes. So if you're interested, there's some great information online about that. But I detected no foul play at the DART meeting. Special events volunteers are always needed. Come join our flock. Thank you to Mayor Jones for planning Chief Weston's Blown Away event. You planned and executed that event. Susan and I, as and Teresa, as well as the resident event planning crew, recognize your efforts, and you did a great job. And it was a well executed event.
Jeez.
And thank you, Captain.
Mayor, I'm shutting this.
Thank you to Meyer for fixing the email issue that there was a distribution list issue. And excellent work, excellent work. Great work.
Collective ground.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Mr. Libby.
Thank you very much. The only things that I can report on, I attended with Teresa and Susan, the legislative forum in Waukee this past week. Also, I had a coffee with council on Saturday this past week, and I missed the ribbon cutting over at Center Field on Saturday afternoon. But I did go back and chat with the owner and the bartender, Evan, I believe his name is, and had a Bloody Mary on Sunday. And so it really, I just got to mention to the council how refreshing it was to see this young man who's been in the food and beverage industry for some time, really wanting to up his game and be assistive with events in the city. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Jones.
One other addition to the DART report is that we're continuing to go through the process of our selection for our next DART CEO. So we've chosen a firm that will help us with the search. We're now going through the process of talking to individual groups of commissioners and then other stakeholders as we build up the profile and move on with the search process. So it is underway, and I think we're going at the right pace right now.
Thank you, Ms. Gary.
Since our last council meeting, I've stayed busy also attending events and meetings. I attended the legislative breakfast that the West Side Chambers worked hard to present with Teresa and Mr. Libby. It was nice to listen to all the representatives talk about what they were working on for this next legislative session. I spoke with Stephanie with Clive Community Services, kind of their food bank for lack of a better term. And she talked with me about attending a council session here to kind of discuss what they do, what they provide to our residents, and probably an ask for a little bit of money from us. I did talk to Rochelle a little bit about that, and she said that we'd be able to find that money, you know, depending on what council would be approving, as long as it's not like 50 million, you know, or a road project or something, you know, but so I look to see her coming in and doing a presentation. I'm trying to work with her so that it's not really during our budget time, so that we're not adding more time into our council session, but we'll kind of work that through a little bit there. Then I attended the legislative reception that the Des Moines Partnership put on with Teresa. And this was my first time attending this event, so it was a pretty cool event. I was able to see some people that I had met prior to throughout the years, and then meet some new people, and it was kind of nice to see different people in a different environment. So I would recommend everybody go at least once. I'm sure you've been there multiple times, but you know. I was not able to make it to Centerfield's first anniversary event. I did send out the email. So I was there in spirit with everybody. So I appreciate everybody going. I saw pictures that included Mike, Joseph, and Lauren, along with the Windsor Heights Chamber, the Urbandale Chamber, and the foundation. So that was nice that they all attended to celebrate with Centerfield, as Centerfield has worked hard to help us with special events. So nice to see that we kind of added to their special day. I have on last Wednesday, I had an audit with the Metro Waste Authority. Everything is good there, so I'm happy. Then tomorrow I have the Urbandale Chamber luncheon and Metro Waste Authority meeting at night. The special events committee meeting for Friday has been canceled. Lauren and I will be meeting to make up the donation request form that we'll be sending out before January ends. I've got big goals. We're gonna get it done. Then the annual awards dinner for the police and fire department was held on Saturday at Sherwood Forest Event Center. Congratulations to paramedic firefighter Brian Jones on Medic of the Year, and to paramedic firefighter Brett Merciel on being named Firefighter of the Year. The Fire Department Association presented a really nice plaque with a fire axe and a fire department emblem on it to Chief McCluskey in gratitude for his many years of service, not just here in our city, but across Kansas. So it was kind of nice to see that, and they worked hard to put that together. So thank you to Rochelle for working on the Colby Avenue hole issues. It seemed to just be never ending.
They keep multiplying.
They do. I'm like, how did that hole? It wasn't there like my earlier walk. So thanks to Rochelle and Justin for kind of taking that off my boat. So hopefully I can just walk down Colby these next few days. Well, I won't be walking in the snow, so. But that's it.
It's CFS, is that the one that had fire?
Yes,
So I believe there are closest.
correct. But they are only open certain times. It's I think she said they're only open like twice a week for 3 hours. And they need more volunteers. So if they would get more volunteers, they could open up longer. But they have seen quite a bit of Windsor Heights people coming to them here. So.
Okay,
It's like, right.
be right. I know, right?
That is something to, I don't think there's anything anywhere on the site. So I think that's something. Okay, well, item 8, adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Joseph Jones.
Yes.
Michael Libby. Lauren Campbell. And Teresa Harms.
I did have an update. I didn't.
Oh,
do it.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Well, it's not on the agenda.
Anyway, doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. David, he assured me he would have the posting today, this morning. It was supposed to be here before noon, and we still don't. So I sent him an email. I made a phone call, still have not heard anything. So I'm hoping by tomorrow we'll have the posting so we can get administrative. But there's that.
We have
Otherwise, we're just working on, we're just working on budgets. We meaning, and these guys are gonna start working on budget as well. So they just don't know.
We were just joking about that too.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's
fun.
I'm on a master. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So on the motion, Susan Skiris.
Yes.
Already did this.
You did. I was.